Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Bar Zone. I'd like to address an issue with this Hvlaugh, which is very interesting, and all your comments are welcome. Over the fact that you had said to me, oh, these two murders occurred in Chicago. Okay, and my argument back was, well, it's Elmwood Park. The kid grew up, regarding Michael Defillipis Jr., he grew up in Elmwood Park. I mean, it's walking distance. His family are all from Elmwood Park. I know that because I lived across the street from their house. Okay, and I know the family. Okay, the thing is, I have this question for you. How do you know that, why is that your emphasis that it happened in Elmwood Park? It's like this big emphasis, not Elmwood Park, or versus Chicago. It's like it has to be in Chicago. First of all, because you were talking about the two murder cases, you were talking about Anthony Catalano. Yes, he lived in, well, his condo was Cumberland and Higgins, which is Chicago, but there's no guarantee, or nobody has any proof that there was a crime committed. In fact, for the longest time, I had all these psychics that kept telling me that he was alive, that he was just running, or that he turned his back, or for one reason or another he had people after him. And there's about 3 psychics out of about 18 that actually said that he was dead, and all 3 of them had 3 different reasons. All 3 of them did say there was 3 men. All 3 of them said that they put him in the trunk and he was kidnapped. One said there was trees and stuff like that, and a road. We don't know where. They never actually said the town. So I find that amazing that you found the town for him, Chicago. But he hung around in Norwich. He hung around with Hvlaugh, which was Norwich. He hung around in Rosemont, which is El Salutes by Devon River Road. His friends hung around in Giannotti, which is now Toscanos. I mean, anyway, one of these psychics, one that said he was kidnapped, said it happened. I think she said it was downtown. Okay, she said something about a neon light. I see a neon light, and they beat him up and blah 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 and all this. One of them said that there was a leader and kind of described this Joe Messino guy, this mysterious leader, Joe Messino, whatever. Anyway, about this one, rest assured this is now in the detective area 5. Okay, what this is it says, Dear SQE, thanks for the information. This is from Joe Fosco, one of his blogs. This was taken from, remember he did those interviews of Magnifici, Michael Magnifici? Well, this was the part 2 of one, more behind the scenes of gangster Michael Magnifici. I don't think he did that interview, and I'll tell you why. And then he says, oh, he comes back, Magnifici comes back and says he never did the interview. It's just, weird. Okay, thank you for the information. However, I understand that Outfit's Dr. Giacchino enlisted Billy Messino Jr. and his son, Joe Messino, to kill Michael D. In addition, I know, which is Mike Defillipis Jr., I know from personal knowledge that Bill Jr.'s preferred style of killing is with a knife. Unfortunately, I was subjected to this despicable information on my one of many evenings that I was forced to spend time with him. So he spent time with Billy Messino Jr., I guess, and Joe Messino Jr., I don't know, with him. He said with him, whatever. So I wanted to bring that up, and then you asked me a question about Redoff. Big thing here is there's a thing called probable cause, and we're going over probable cause. The thing is that you see his action, you know by their action. Even the security of any retail store, they'll say you know by their actions. How do they know? Well, let's look over what probable cause is. Okay, probable cause. Now this is the criminal procedures book. Okay, this is where the doctrines, where they go get things together, the search and procedures for persons to find out whether they need a warrant or not. And what this says right here is probable cause. In principle, the definition of probable cause does not vary regardless of the conduct in which the police engage. It was defined by the Supreme Court in Beck versus Ohio, and whatever these numbers here, as more than bare suspicion. What did I see? I saw suspicion. I saw him acting in a particular talking about Retta, suspicious manner. You know, cops do a criminal profile just on Criminal Minds, and they look at the person's background and they look at their actions, and as the connections, like, I don't know why Joe Fosco said he was at his funeral and blah. Why was that a conversation between Michael Defillipis Jr.'s sister, and what was that email and everything about? That's in the police station, so let them deal with it. Okay, what else we got? Okay, so it says, as more than bare suspicion, it exists when the facts and circumstances within the officer's knowledge and in which they have reasonable, trustworthy information are sufficient to warrant a prudent man in believing that the suspect had committed or was committing an offense. Okay, so this, what is this? The substance of all the definition of probable cause is a reasonable ground for belief of guilt. All right. So then you look for credible witnesses. I'm a credible witness. I'm a witness. I think that still Joe Fosco is a credible witness, believe it or not, debunking him. But you know what? I'm not here to really prove him wrong. I really just want to prove him right. Basically, I really do. I'm going to read this to you. This is from the Criminal Law Today. Probative value, the worth of an evidence to prove or disprove the facts of an issue. That goes along with procedural law. Procedural law is the aspects of the law that specifies the methods to use. They need probable cause for law enforcement, substantial law. So anyway, reading all this, you know, and you see all this, and the thing is that there's probable cause all over the place. Here's preponderance of evidence, a standard for determining legal liability, which requires a probability of just over 50% that the defendant did what they claim. I mean, like, you have a credible witness, that's probable cause, right? You have two credible witnesses, well, that's double probable cause. Okay, and then one more thing I want to tell you real fast. Under Just the Facts, 3rd edition, Michael Biggs. Oh, if you want to look up this 3rd edition, Frank Schmulliger. This is Capstone Cases, Criminal Law Today. And just running the qualities of superior investigator. I'll just read the first one. Superior investigators are ethical. They inherently know the difference between right and wrong behavior, as well as what is necessary for them to be considered a professional. They play by the rules and do not get involved in the manufacture or false evidence of testimony. Now that's the question. Is there false testimony, or is it, as an investigator, Joe Fosco of American News Post claims to be an investigator, but is it false or is it not? I think it might be, there's something with it, but that's why you need an investigation. I'm not here to prove that Joe Messino did it. I'm here to figure out how I can get somebody to investigate it. Thank you. Barzone.